nothing in this church that belongs to you other than the sin you brought in.
Hey, Casper, how you doing? Terrell, Big Go about me. How's your day going?
It's going great, Terrell. How's yours going?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's been a minute since I talked to you, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Last time we were exchanging words, we were talking about salvage Marines in the lobby of San Diego Comic Con.
Wow.
So like a couple years ago, yeah, it was.
Yeah, a good couple years ago.
I know, yeah. And since then, I've also had the opportunity to watch your movie Daughter, which I also thought was still
Ooh.
creeps me out to this day. Going
Yeah,
back
that
to
was a
watch
creepy one. My whole family was creeped out every time I comb my hair to leave. And when I came back, they're like, can you just comb your hair the other way and not have it like that? They were so creeped out by me. Just me combing my hair. It wasn't like I was in character. I wasn't locking anybody up in my house.
Dude, oh man, I showed that to somebody. I was like, yeah, I'm like this. You definitely have shown such a different range, like in acting, like over the years, and so many different projects you've been in. Like seeing you in that role, and now seeing you in this. You're no stranger to action, obviously, but
Yeah.
getting you into a role where you don't really say too much. You just get right into the action, and then guns of redemption. We have a guy that's like trying to get kind of escape from his past, and
Yeah.
somehow it just, of course, it catches right back up to him. What was the experience like working on set, getting to work with director Brian Skiba on this? What was the experience with that?
Well, I love Brian Skiba. I've done several films with him, and he's just a good friend at this point in time. And when they sent me the script, my favorite genre, all time, number one, is Westerns. I watch a Western almost every day. So when I read the script, I went, "Oh my God, this is like a classic Western. It's got the redemption, man trying to make amends for the crap he did in his life. When we're young, we do the stupid crap that we do, and then later in life, we got to go, oh my God, I gotta be a better man. I gotta do better. I want to be better." This guy really had to this, and he got paid for he got to struggle with it the whole time, and I was like, oh man, it's just he's just getting shot left and right for it, and it was awesome. But I love working with Brian. He was open to me. I said, when I get confronted, I'm trying to be a good man, and I have that Bible, and I'm trying to be a good man, and
Yeah.
he comes and confronts me. They wanted me to put the Bible down, and I said, I'm gonna beat some Bible into these people. They need it. And I thought I can get in trouble with that. I can get in trouble for that because you shouldn't use the Bible like that. But I did, and then I got shot for it. So I did immediately get redeemed. I really did get karma for what I did. So there's a lot going into that. But it was a lot. I absolutely loved it. I had the best time making this. I haven't seen it yet though, so I don't know what it looks like. So
Oh, well, look, I enjoyed it. Like it was definitely a fun time watching. Definitely getting to see you get to work with Sean Austin himself. One of my favorite. If we all know from Lord of the Rings, but
yeah,
and so
Sam.
many other things he's done. I mean, it seemed like you guys were just generally having a really good time on set, just from the energy, the interaction between between you two in the movie.
Yeah, I loved working with him, and I kept trying to watch him so that in the end, when I more or less tried to become like his character, that I would follow some of the things that he did and try to aspire to be like him. So I was trying to make that connection too. I really enjoyed working with him, and he is the kind of man that you would want to follow. I mean, he is like that Sam Gamewise that you see from that, or he's the kind of person that tries to help people. I mean, even as an actor, he works in our to fight for our union and to give us the rights that we need. He's that kind of guy that fights for that, whether people believe with his political views or not. He's just a guy that fights for the people, and I love that, all the people. So he's
Right.
just a good man like that. And but then you see when he comes in with a gun that he's actually probably gone through his own stuff too. So
Yeah.
there's depth in that. So that way, it's also which is easier for a man when you're trying to make amends and trying to become a better person. If a man is all self-righteous and hasn't ever had a problem, it's kind of harder to follow those people. But the people that have gone through the crap and then come out and seeing the light and are being a better person for it, those are the kind of people I would like to aspire to be more like, because I know I've done some crap and some things that I regret. And I know I want to be a better person. So I know I'm trying to do that. And I love that about this character that I got to play too.
Absolutely. Now, what about working with was it Kaitlyn and Sienna? Because
Yeah, they were awesome. They were,
yeah, they were picking up the slack here, putting in some work.
yeah, yeah, they did a good job, and then not only were they good actresses, but the actresses that were also the other ones that were in there, the girls that were all being, prostituted
Oh
out
yeah.
because of this. They're all. I would ride up in the car and I'd be all wounded on the horse, right up to the cart, the trailer that they're in, their wagon, excuse me. There we go. I knew the word was in there somewhere. I'd ride up to the wagon and I could see the pain and compassion in their eyes, all of them. And I was like, wow, they're all really putting in this effort. It was really quite lovely to see that and impressive. And then Jeff Fahey playing that General Bork. I mean, he was just horrible, man. What a
Yeah,
horrible
he was
man.
definitely not good.
Yeah.
I gotta ask because it was kind of bothering me as I watched it. It was like probably the only smallest thing that I had that I wanted to ask you about today. So I noticed in the scene where they're in the trailer, the cart, there's a slight like opening above it, and I'm like, can't they just climb out above this, like, and get out of the cart, or maybe that was just the way it was shot. I don't know how big the space was for a whole human being to be able to get out of the top of the where the door was.
I don't think they could get out of it. I think that you could they're like the girls the maybe they could have, but they would have been they probably would have been shot
Yeah, yeah,
or taken. So the guys are right there. So they had them pretty, and it's also like when people are put in that position, you think like, well, why didn't you just leave? Well, they're terrified and they've been beaten down and they've been, so sometimes people don't do that when that's like the people that get caught in these cults or by these people that kidnap them. They're like, well, why didn't you leave when you had the opportunity? I was too scared because of everything they've done already,
right.
and then finally they do find a way. So maybe they would have, maybe there would have been a time where they could have, but I think the terror of what could happen to them, I think that's always, an underlying, theme. Like in Daughter, you definitely see why they didn't go out. There's definitely I'm not a nice person,
Yeah.
and General Bork is not a nice person, and his men are not nice people. So, these ladies, the fear of, like if I get like 2 feet, somebody could just get me. I mean, they're out in the wild too, so
Right.
it's not like they could call anybody.
No, yeah, he definitely did have help. Everybody was trying to get paid. Every time they asked for help, they was like, "No, I'm not trying to get shot." So
Yeah, yeah,
I can't, I can't help you. Where did you shoot the movie, and how long did it take you guys to shoot it?
We shot in Cave City, Kentucky,
Okay.
and we shaved that one battle sequence where you see where they're firing the cannon at me and everything. That field that we were in, most of
Oh
the
yeah.
time we were out in those fields. That was actually the battle for the bridge, which was a real Civil War era thing that happened between the North and the South. And then the South actually won that at first, but later they lost the war. But they do reenactments there with the Civil War. Some of those people were reenactment Civil War uh, reenactors. So some of them we had in there were actual people that
Oh,
did
okay.
that. So you see some of this going on. It's the real deal.
How long did it take your hearing to come back after having the cannon blasted at you?
Oh yeah, that's something else. That's pretty loud, huh? I mean, I was like, and they had me running across that field. I was like, I'm an old man. You're making me run a lot as an old man. I didn't mind riding the horse so hard, but when I had to do it myself, I was like, the horse was probably looking over, going, "See, ain't that easy? Ain't that easy, Casper?"
Yeah, it's
And in
definitely not.
cowboy boots, nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like you guys had fun on set. I mean, I love me a good, Western movie where like the so quote unquote bad guy, wants to turn his life around, and I'm glad that it went the direction that it went in with your character.
Oh, thank
Because
you.
I feel like it's so much still on the table that we don't know. You guys intentionally keep it vague, in terms of the writing. It's like
Yeah.
what your backstory is and like what's going on, and you'll get little hints and stuff like even when they reference the gun or certain things like about who your character is, but don't go too far into it. I really want to see what possibly could be next, like
Yeah.
like a series of this, as you go sling, a preacher gunslinger. So
Yeah, yeah, I would love to do that, and I liked exactly what you're saying too, because I like that you're not he has demons and he's
right,
fought them, but the main demon is he fought for the South, so he already
yeah,
you're already at that point, even if you believe that the South was good, even if you were one of those people, which is ridiculous, but if you did and you thought that they that they were the good people, they were still they lost. And so what you have to feel like when you lose a war, you're already the loser, and then already you're made out be like a bad and horrible person. And right, what they were, in war, you're going to do things that you're going to be, whether you're on the good side or on the bad side, you're going to do things that you're going to regret. I mean, having to kill another human being has got to be one of the most intense and devastating things that definitely changes who you are as a person. There's no way you can't, because you go from being not a killer to somebody that's actually killed. Now all of a sudden you're not who you were. I wouldn't be the same me. I know that. I would know there would be something in me change, because thou shalt not kill. That's just what you don't do. And then you've changed, and you're like, so it changes you. And then you have to deal with, how do I become human again, or how do I become a better person? What can I do? Because you would want to do, at least I know that's what I would want everything in me to go, I've got to find some way to reconcile this part of me that I've lost, this innocence, or this more God-fearing, or this more, you know, more intimate part of myself that is now something that I have shame over, or
Right.
whatever it would be, guilt, or the thoughts what you would have to go through. Even if you thought, well, that guy's a bad guy, you still know that he has a brother, a father, sister, mother, child, whatever he is, somebody's son. And you have to think about what that would do to those people. So, it's definitely whatever he was going through, the struggle had to be real for me. And that's
Oh,
what I wanted it
absolutely.
to be.
Absolutely. Like I said, you definitely see it. I mean, you're playing this like straight too. Like ain't no laughs. Like it's a serious. Like yeah, you're totally in the character. And even if I look at you now from the movie, I'm like, man, this is a different guy right here. uh, Obviously, we all know, you're infamously known, as Rico from Starship, what
Yeah.
Starship Troopers, and somehow like it just keeps coming back full circle into your life.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think has been the overall success to like your longevity of your career so far?
I think Starship Troopers has been the big success. I mean, as actors, and I think the reason why I still work is because my working relationships with people, but definitely Starship Troopers on top of that. But first and foremost, that Paul Verhoeven and Ed Newmeyer giving me Starship Troopers, Sony Pictures putting me in that, giving me that opportunity. It's a role that people, I can't go anywhere without somebody yelling a quote at me. My kids grew up with people going, "Kill them all," and they're like, that, which is not normal in everyday life, but that just was normal. That was yelled at me at Disneyland. That's been, it's like people yell that at me. Like, it's like, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "No, I love it. I love it. I appreciate it." And I do. It means everything to me. So I think that has been what has given me a career, and even today, I mean, I did 2 video games last year where I did the voiceover for
See,
it, and I stream them. I stream Starship Troopers Extermination, with 16-person shooter, as on Twitch as Casper Van Dien, but in the game as Johnny Rico, and also a Continuum, which is a VR one. I stream these, and people come in like, "I can't believe you're doing this as Johnny Rico," blah, blah, blah. But I have so much fun doing it. And I think that's part of that I have fun doing it. But I also think that I've gotten hired by everybody I've worked with, because I take it as this is my job. So I have to
absolutely.
come in prepared. I have to be the character, whatever it is. I'm not these characters, but then they become part of me, or whatever I am. And now they're part of my life, and I'm a part of theirs, and they're part of how people relate to me. Like when you come, you say daughter. I mean, you would not want to meet me if I was daughter. That's not
No.
the kind of person you'd want to meet. Nobody would. I wouldn't want to meet that guy. I mean,
Right.
but I was written really well by Corey Deshawn, and he did an incredible job. And it was mostly a Vietnamese cast, and Corey's not Vietnamese, but he's a black man, but
Right.
he's an intelligent, very creative, very funny guy, who's very, intellectual and thought-provoking. So he created this great character, and I got to be this, and he just let me go. And he was very thoughtful in the way he thought about it. So it was always amazing. This one, I'm playing a great character who's struggling with his things. All these characters, you have to be that. And when these people they hire me, they have to believe I can do it, and I have to really come through and do it. This is my job. I want to be that character. I want to be that believable in that, and I want to be somebody where where you say to me, "That still creeps me out, that character," and I show it to people, it creeps me out. Thank you. That means everything to me. I don't want to be somebody in real life. I would not want to creep you out at all.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's not who I am, but that's still a character.
Absolutely. Well, look, Casper, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Tom, for take time to do this interview with me today. Been
Daryl,
waiting to
thank you.
waiting to find an excuse to talk to you again, and this is the perfect reason. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, brother. It's so good to see you, man.
Absolutely. See you.
Take care. I can't believe you were in